In the final years of his life, Thomas Jefferson took a knife and cut up the Gospels, Holy Scripture, to Christians.
Even though he realizes, as a Republican Party leader, that this will be a very controversial act.
Harry Rubenstein of the Smithsonian's National Museum of American History led the project to restore the book that the third U.S. president created out of what he saved. The Life and Morals of Jesus of Nazareth, or the Jefferson Bible as it's known today, left out the resurrection and other miracles. Rubenstein says that's because Jefferson wanted to highlight Jesus' moral teachings.
I think in one sense, this is a larger project that he has been thinking about, along with his colleagues and very close companions, what should be the moral basis of the new nation.
Earlier this year, Louis Granados of the American Humanist Association published a version and sent it to lawmakers.
There's some great wisdom in there, and we think members of Congress would be well advised to spend a few hours sitting around thinking about that. And at the same time, well advised to recognize that there's some other stuff in there that's maybe not so good.
He says Jefferson wasn't the only iconoclast. George Washington prayed but refused communion, while author Thomas Paine called religions human inventions. Thomas Jefferson was inspired by George Mason's views on freedom of conscience, and the Founding Fathers are generally seen as Enlightenment rationalists. But the Christian right, which considers America's founding to be part of God's plan, insists their religious conviction was rock solid for the most part. Texas pastor Mark Collins dresses up as George Washington and makes appearances at churches and religious events. He says Jefferson cut up the Bible during a crisis of faith.
You know, we go through seasons and we make mistakes, and sometimes we get angry at God.
At the Jefferson Memorial in Washington, an inscription quotes the president saying, "All men shall be free to profess their opinions in matters of religion." Lindsay Lang, a visitor, says the Founding Fathers believed in pluralism.
I believe that they're mostly open to all religions, and that's why people were coming to here to the United States versus escaping oppression in other countries.
Alicia Troyer agrees partly.
But I do believe with them having the Christian values that they are more on the Christian faith.
Jefferson was the great thinker of America's early presidents, and he only meant to share his more radical thoughts with close friends, fearing they could stir controversy for generations to come. Jerome Sokolovsky, VOA News, Washington.